on for, but Looper and Dade probably didn't get that memo because both of them pretty damn good on that champion. Kalista and TF going to be taken away from the Rift, and Uzi, doesn't matter what patch it is, Kalista will always be banned.
Yeah, it certainly does have to be taken into account. Just a lane bully, able to use the mobility and the mechanics that Uzi is so well known for. So, like the ban so far. Cool, of course, a fantastic Twisted Fate player.
Yep.
They throw another one at him, as well as Olaf in the top lane.
Of course, someone has been watching Darius, I think, play some League of Legends.
Well, Looper used to watch Darius, that's why he plays Singe.
Yeah, adorable. But Elise has made it through the draft. OMG, pick it up for Loveling. He has definitely played that champion in the past. Victor was banned away here from M3, but they still have a couple of power picks that they can make.
Yeah, Loveling loves to get on junglers that can just fight the opposition.
Yeah.
Known for a little bit more aggression, of course. Popularized the W-Max on Gragas over here in the LPL, which is now being hovered and considered by Looper. We'll have to see whether he is able to take that skirmish prowess and translate it into the very powerful Elise right now. And if he does, whether he goes with something like this into Hulk or whether he goes outright aggression with the Runeglaive.
Yeah, M3 looking to keep their options open by the looks of things. As they're picking a lot of knock-ups, Spawn. A lot of knock-ups.
Cool's been playing a lot of Yasuo and solo queue, by the way.
Oh, really?
Cool, yeah, and he played it last game against EDG, and it didn't look bad. Cool, not known for his Yasuo mechanics, but has been able to pull it out every now and again. Had a great game with it, I think, last Worlds, and yeah, see whether he's able to make it work.
In fact, was sort of pronounced as one of the Yasuo players when he'd only played it about once in the LPL, I think.
I was going to bring it up, but thank you. I'm sure shoutcasters around the world really appreciate that one.
Thanks for the back pat. But yeah, look,
no worries.
Just trying to set the record straight. You know, you got to make sure that you do announce these sort of things. But Vayne is going to be locked in for Uzi, not by Uzi. Generally, it's Uzi saying, nah, I'm playing Vayne. Puts his foot down.
There's a big misconception about Uzi. I don't feel like he's this player that a lot of people build him up to be. In fact, we've seen the transformation. Yeah, but it just doesn't really help Uzi at this point. We've seen the transformation of him, a very smiley guy right now. Point. Has been a bit more jovial than the Uzi we've seen in the past as we take a look at Dade, who looks very serious, talking about
jovial.
Yeah. But yeah, so come on. He has enough of a hard time already.
I apologize, Spawn. Never again. But, OMG, they do have the Rumble in the top lane. Does mean that they have opened the floor to the likes of some form of AD mid laner. As San considering the Annie to pair up with this Vayne. We'll see whether they are going to lock that one away.
Not a terrific amount of synergy between Annie Vayne. Annie's a bully in lane with the stun and able to spam out Qs, especially if you max it. So wouldn't expect San to go with initiating support. I like the Nautilus. A little bit more peel would certainly help Uzi as the game progresses. And they've also got a peeling mid laner. Cool, able to throw up that Emperor's Divide, knock people out, and see if he is able to turn into the second hyperscaling late game carry to allow OMG to have multiple threats.
Yeah, so they have locked those in. Of course, a lot of magic damage now available for OMG, with Uzi being the sole AD dealer. Also does a lot of true damage there as well. But on the other side of the Rift, M3 had locked in Maokai and Sivir, which is interesting because they're up against OMG, and that was their win condition for about, 3 solid weeks of the LPL.
Yeah, when Xiong was on the lineup playing in the top lane, they certainly did like to go towards that.
Yeah.
But a lack of damage right now out of M3. They have a couple of super tanks in Rek'Sai as well as the Maokai. Of course, Lovecd on that Alistar also going to be very tanky. But Kassadin scales very well as the game progresses. And Simlz should be able to get him into any team fight with that on the hunt.
Dade considering there's 5 seconds to go. That
said
will
one
mean
word. Probably lock it in.
Well, he's not even going to. He's going to let the timer do it for him. But Kassadin going to be picked up for Dade. Able to rift walk over the top of that Emperor's Divide. Definitely is handy. And able to utilize the spell shield from the Q, the Null Sphere, in order to get himself through that laning phase quite nicely. And we'll see how Simlz and Lovecd do in this lane.
It's also pretty much impossible for Cool. I think it's a patch where the knockup's been removed. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
Yep, so pretty much impossible for Cool to Azir sec Dade right now, because as soon as you see him come in with the E, you're just able to channel your rift or queues it up, you get behind the Emperor's Divide. So really hard to execute that now, unless it is on cooldown. And dade should be able to play nice and aggressive in the lane. Want to see what build cool goes though, because we've seen things like the Nash's Tooth picked up first into the likes of Rylai's Crystal Scepter, which is a more of a control build that can come out of Azir right now. Set up Gogoing and Uzi for a lot more success in these team fights.
Yeah, and has that been sort of the National's Tooth build into the Rylai's, is that sort of more of a result of the patch and the fact that things have changed a bit for Azir, or is it about the item change?
That was the item change. Yeah, it was the item change more than anything else. You know, they bumped it up to 80 AP, just made it a lot more worthwhile. Of course, the scaling of attack speed now helped Azir out as well. So definitely was the itemization change, and we'll have to see whether it continues to come through.
Yeah, and we'll see whether Cool can make this Azir work. But we are going to go through the lineups. Missed top, but Loveling is going to be taking the Elise against Condi's Rek'Sai. Of course, definitely a standard jungler for Condi. Cool on the Azir against dade's Kassadin. Scary matchup for both sides. As San, he's going to be taking the Nautilus into Lovecd's Alistar. Don't forget about Simlz on the Sivir against Uzi's Vayne. And on the thing that I'm worried about here on the side of M3, oh, actually, no, I'm not. Take it all back. The fact that the Sivir is actually on the side with the Kassadin means that they have plenty of way for it. Don't worry about it.
Certainly do. Able to utilize the Sivir to throw the boomerang across, clear out all those minions.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But let's get on to the rift. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, OMG versus M3, our first set of the playoff run. Bit of a gauntlet for both of these teams. If they win, they're going to have to be playing over and over again as this week progresses, trying to make their way all the way up to that top spot. OMG and San paired up, both of the AD carries of old from OMG.
Both of them? Who's he played on Starhorn Royal Club when San was the AD carry?
I'm talking about of old as in like the start of this season. So admittedly not that old.
So not that old.
Yeah, it just sounded cool, man.
We have a small invade coming through from Loveling and Cool, seeing if they can get any vision on the bottom side of the map. Have been spotted out by some wards though, so a standard start for both teams. Uzi going back, maybe looking for a lane swap, and San will join him.
Yeah, lots of pings here from OMG, and they are going to move towards the top lane, so you're exactly right.
Lane OMG swap lane swap every game at the moment. Like, without fail, you know they're going to lane swap. But it's just that they don't get much advantage off it, so we'll have to see whether this time around they're able to make it work, because Lupa on Maokai going to be able to double jungle really effectively.
Oh yeah, already throwing out those saplings. No one messing with his ability to get those out there as well. So he's going to have a full stack, get rid of the little popcorn chickens very quickly. We'll be fine. Minions are going to clash in the mid lane there. Dade making his way to lane a little bit late.
Got an extra potion.
Condi going to get some help with his Grom. So pretty standard starts already. No freezing going to happen, but Uzi is going to get his working for him. Bottom side of the map for M3, nothing fancy.
Yeah, it looks like Uzi has got a freeze. And Sanji's going to go for some deep vision. Of course, taking the Gromp, well, helping out with the Gromp means that the freeze wasn't secured in the bottom lane, I don't believe. Haven't had a look at the minion wave yet. And Tool pressuring in nice and early on Dade.
Yeah, able to shove that one through very, very quickly. Dade missing a few creeps just because it's difficult at level 1 to last hit under tower as a Kassadin.
So that's a little bit strange. Generally, we've seen the increased popularity that if Rek'Sai is jungling, they give the blue buff over to the mana user because it just increases how quickly you jungle. Of course, Maokai going to be able to spam out saplings and the like. There's a 3-buff start coming through here. Gonna have to see whether they get caught out.
Yeah, San actually walking around notices the fact that there are 3 trailing after him. He gets knocked up, but there's the dredge line. San still very healthy. They get the red buff, and there's a little Cinderling still there. Condi's going to clear it out quite nicely with that Prey Seeker. But yeah, 3-buff start looks to ensue here in favor of OMG.
And they went red to red, so smart move there, making sure that they were keeping their double jungle up. And all of a sudden, Condi going to have a big dip in experience. They're actually pinging out the Krug camp. And that's not going to be what he's looking for because that's not much experience in CS over that side of the map.
No. Dade's still getting shoved in here. Double the CS for Cool. He is going to be able to pick up this farm underneath the turret.
We're going in San.
They get a ward there. Lupa's coming around as well. Lovecd level 1, as is San though.
Yeah, they need to back away from here. There's no way they can approach that turret. There's 4 members of M3 in the area, so they'll proxy farm the wave, and Loveling being called in for a little bit of help. This does put the wave in favor of Uzi because he's getting solo experience right now. We'll have to see whether M3 want to commit to a dive.
Now Uzi, you can see, hanging out by himself there.
They do not. So Uzi, definitely the beneficiary. In fact, they're looking at mid lane right now.
Yeah, Cool's actually at half health here. Dade, level 4, does have the ignite up
They're
if
waiting
he
for
wants
him to use W.
Not going to. Forces the flash immediately, does Condi.
So, able to burn, summon a spell in the mid lane. Barrier was still available. Cool. Maybe not in as much danger as he thought.
I guess there was a headbutt pulverize there available from Lovecd as well. Dredgeline lands. There's the cocoon from Loveling as well. Lovecd taking so much damage, down to about 400. But it's just going to be the auto attack from Loveling as he takes down the Rift Scuttler.
So early game, pretty convincingly in OMG's favor so far. Apart from the flash on Cool, not really much happening for M3, and Gogoing's having a fine time in this lane farming up. Missing harpoons, you know, just hanging out as a rumble.
Yeah, it's fine. Able to get that one as it dies over the Flame Spitter. I'm impressed. You're probably not, because you were talking about how easy it is to farm with Rumble, and I don't think so. I think he's tough to farm with. Probably not.
How many games of Rumble have you played?
That's a good point. Well, dade needs to go aggressive on the Cool here if he can. Nice use of the spell shield
Once
from
again,
the Q.
3 members in the mid lane.
Yeah, in goes Condi. Able to use the E to get out is cool. Dade still has the wave at a very nice position though.
Cool gonna have to back off. Dade probably gonna drag the creep wave away from turret there and continue to farm up. He wants probably tier Catalyst if I know Dade. Very greedy Kassadin player, likes to go max mana. Have to see if it's the same in today's match because they do have quite a good scaling tank composition. Not the same amount of damage that's going to come out of the OMG lineup, but with the Rek'Sai, the Maokai, as well as the Alistar, they will get incredibly tanky as the game goes on. There's 3 members top looking for a dive on Lupa.
Yeah, we're going to try and utilize Loveling's ability to dive with that repel. Uzi coming around. Loveling is coming in. Lupa does have to be careful.
Level 3.
Yeah, the Twisted Advance is going to be there. There's the repel as Loveling took a lot of damage initially.
Yeah. That was so much damage. Didn't even manage to get this snare through. They send Condi up here. This dive is definitely not happening, guys.
Oh, well, there's the Condemn. Uzi's actually popped the ultimate as well. Silverbolt's is going to net him first blood as Loveling flashes out of the way. Silverbolt's still doing some work. Gogoing's teleported in. Lupa trying to get onto Loveling. There's a heal from Uzi. And there he is. Nets himself a double in the top lane with a beautiful dive.
That was really misplayed out of Lupa. Not able to get any of his CC into the target that was tanking it, and then flashed an arcane smash Loveling, who once again wasn't actually tanking the turret up. So nicely played by OMG. A couple of mistakes out of M3 members mean that double kill as well as a turret falling at 7.5 minutes. And OMG off to a flying start.
Yeah, the fact that both of those kills went on to Uzi as well. Scary, scary idea for M3. We'll see whether they can deal with it as this game goes on. Simlz tanking up the turret. He's going to be able to take down the outer and the bottom lane. So equalizes the gold quite a bit. 800 is going to be the lead now for OMG.
Yeah, those 2 kills, and you can see the makings of the Blade of the Ruined King. Only the combined cost to come through right now. Uzi having a great time on Summoner's Rift. Oh, cool.
Oh, nice work. Cool.
Nice as a big raptor. Takes a combo for it.
Yeah, Dade getting upset. But he's level 6, got that Rift Walk, so he'll be more than safe.
Dade's going straight for Roa here. So not opting to go for a maximum mana build, a little bit more of an accelerated power curve. See whether he goes for the Godby build.
Yeah, and could this be sort of based on the fact that, you know, what you said, the fact that M3 may not necessarily have the damage required here, so Dade knowing that he needs to get as much as possible as quickly as possible?
Yeah, potentially. It's honestly a safety thing normally for Dade. He tries to build as tanky whilst being damage oriented as possible, and that's what Seraphs gives you. It gives you this massive shield to come through, helps you against both AD and AP damage. That's why we see things like Rylai's so early on in his Cassiopeia build as well. But this time around, maybe just looking for some extra aggression.
Oh, there's a flash from Lovecd. Immediately condemned from Uzi as he pops the final hour. Headbutt just to try and get him to safety now as OMG turning it around. What, 2v3? Everyone on M3 so incredibly low. Silver bolts being procced every time from this Vayne. They couldn't do it.
And a lot of questions were raised when San was brought into the lineup, when Uzi returned instead of North. And wow, they're doing their best to silence the haters right now. The 2v3 outplay Uzi with a very quick condemn to start that off. And all of a sudden, SMLZ Lovecd stuck under a turret and Condi retreats into his jungle, tail between his legs.
Yeah, not a whole lot that the Rek'Sai could do in that situation. Uzi just utilizing that final hour. The extra AD just meant that he could get so much damage forward. Everyone having to back away.
As well as the fact of walking through Nautilus is just never a fun idea at the beginning of games, Atlas.
Yeah.
Dude has so much base damage as Dade trades incredibly well. Cool. Slaps him back.
Yep, equalizes it, but
going for an Unthinned early in this game.
Oh, Loveling.
Dade collapsing on Loveling.
Yeah, Loop coming around as well. There's the Void Rush from Condi. Will have the Repel. So Loveling looking to turn it back around again. They do have a ward on this red buff. It's going to be taken by Condi. Just the Q to come down. Dade taking a bit of damage there.
Dade looking for a kill.
Yeah, there's the flash forward. Gets on top of Cool. I don't know whether that Force Pulse even managed to land, but Gogoing will answer the kill. It's a 1-for-1 in the bottom lane in the meantime. Uzi's going to die somehow to SMLZ. Double kill for the Sivir.
They went for the turret dive, it looks like. Lovecd on incredibly low health. A huge slip up there because the advantage was in OMG's favor. And SMLZ picks up a double to equalize the lane.
Yeah, 2-0-0 now for the Sivir. Of course, it's only the first blood gold. The extra 100 that is going to be separating these two AD carries, considering the CS completely even. Turret's even as well. So Uzi heading back towards the lane, and we'll see what happened in the bottom lane surely soon. Is that pretty weird?
That certainly was different, as you saw someone with 2 kills giving up a double. Loveling on this Elise. Grabs himself an early side stone. Let's take a look at what happened in the bottom lane. Was a dive.
Oh, that was brilliant.
And just way too much damage tanked up from the turret there.
Lovecd playing that so superbly as well. So brilliant Alistar performance from Lovecd. Cool going to be clearing out this minion wave, but he's behind Dade now, who has the Rod of Ages. Had it at about 10 minutes as well. It's a good clip. Equalizer going to clear out the lane here for Gogoing. SMLZ looking to just head up here, take down the turret if he can, but Equalizer was used, so no choice.
Yeah, going to swap maybe the top lane turret and all of the pressure for Dragon right now. Uzi can't see whether he's freezing. No, looks like he's shoving the lane because he's tumbling up to grab all of the CS. Might be able to get a 2-for-1 special here, OMG. Of course, Loveling does jungle fairly well by himself. They should be able to pressure this turret.
Yeah, outer in the bottom lane might be taken in response to the top. SMLZ able to push this one pretty quickly. Of course, with the extra pickaxe. Decided to go for the Crit Cloak instead of the Berserker's Greaves. But heading towards that Infinity Edge as quickly as possible. That is the outer turret falling in the top lane.
Generally means that you want to go Phantom Dancer over Static Shiv if you grab a Crit Cloak. Otherwise, it's just generally more efficient to grab something like the Brawler's Glove into Avarice Blade.
Okay.
We'll have to see if that is the overall decision or whether he just values the combine a lot higher at this stage of the game.
Well, Uzi able to farm out quite nicely. 112 to 96 in favor of the Vayne. Does have the Blade of the Ruin King now as well. So maybe next time they go for some interesting plays, might be able to get things going in favor of themselves on the side of OMG. Dade taking a few auto attacks there from the Sand Soldiers as Condi's making his way in. Going to notice this pink ward.
And this is nice play out of M3. They've rotated the Sivir into every major lane to knock down the turrets. This last one will be a little bit more difficult. Cool, of course, has some terrific wave clear, although going back might open up a hard push out of SMLZ here and see whether he can get some work done in it. Was Runeglaive completed by Loveling, so going to be squishy on Evelyn. On Elise, but should do a lot of damage.
Yeah, even with the Chilling Smite as well, so extra CC, sacrificing the farming, but of course with the Runeglaive, they're going to be able to farm quite nicely. 4 members of M3 now trying to shove down this turret, like you said. Dade
grab it.
Waiting towards the top side. Loveling, doesn't quite hit
wow,
the
good
cocoon.
equalizer.
There's the equalizer, getting so much damage down onto Simlz and Condi. Dade over the top. The repel from Loveling as the Condemn comes in onto Looper. He might have to flash, going to. They are going to escape, and M3 don't get the turret.
Terrific equalizer out of Gogoing there. Made sure that Simlz had to run through the red carpet to get away. All of a sudden, 2 members sent back, and OMG on the aggressive.
Yeah, Gogoing actually diving right underneath this turret. Uzi, lots of damage onto Simlz. They pressure down the turret very easily. They may not be done.
Vayne sieging up at 14 minutes into the game. Very nicely done out of OMG. Also looking for a blue buff for their troubles. Thank you very much. Loveling going to give that one over to Cool, most likely. And M3, they were looking to get proactive and just bites them a little bit with a good counter engage from Gogoing.
Yeah, Gogoing now with both of those pen items as well, Sorcerer's Shoes and, of course, the Haunting Guys. He's going to get discovered by Condi. See whether he's going to try and turn it around. Understands the Dade waiting in the wings. Looper as well. Turning it around. Of course, Kassadin and Maokai not going to continue. But turret falls down. Sun turret falls down. Simlz makes his way down the mid lane one more time. M3 now will be trying to steal away a blue buff.
Lovecd just took a lot of damage from Loveling, who is already over the wall. Left Cool alone.
Yeah, Cool actually forced to use the flash. There's the Emperor's Divide. M3 now have to try and get around it, which they can't. Good disengage there, but it is the ultimate down.
Looper. Yeah. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Uzi's just got a huge creep wave. He's like, guys, don't fight. Cool's got a blue buff. We don't need this one. Just let me take the turret.
Yeah, turret already fell in the mid lane. Simlz managed to take the outer turret. Uzi, though, you're right, starting up on this inner turret, bottom side of the map.
2 members have to rotate across. Uzi just drawing pressure around, acting like a split-pushing threat right now. Once he gets 2 items, would much prefer to see him group up and see if he can team fight. But on the Blade of the Ruling King, why not act like that assassin threat? They know that Simlz can't respond by himself, probably has to send an extra member. And unless Dade goes down there, who hasn't got the makings of the Zhonya's Hourglass yet, so might not even be able to win the 1v1, Uzi is probably unrivaled in terms of mid-game power.
Yeah, and it looks like Dade going towards that Abyssal Scepter next anyway with that Negatron Cloak in his back pocket. Makes sense against sort of the triple threat.
Dade zoomed.
Yeah, a lot of mana as the concussive blows come down. There's the equalizer. Dade in a bunch of trouble, but Looper's going to teleport in. Dade still just trying to get auto attacks in there, be as useful as he possibly can. There's the W for the extra mana. Riftwalk is going to close the distance. Flashes over the top of the Riptide as San. He's in a bunch of trouble, and Dade grabs the kill.
Yeah, not giving the respect to the W out of Kassadin. You saw how much mana he got back both times. He's being max last, but wow, that was just a lot. Of course, it gives you percent missing, so understand how it can come through like that. And Dade, 2-1-0, turning into this late-game monster that we know Kassadin's can become.
Yeah, definitely on his way to that point. Is going to build the tier, though, Spawn.
Wow, that is the latest tier of all time. 17 minutes in, Dade decides that the game's probably going to go for about 30-odd. He wants to stack it up.
Man is making an investment, my friend. 300 gold, though, the lead for M3. As it's a gigantic lead, actually, for Dade there in the mid lane. 131 to 113 as far as that CS is concerned. Neither of these mid laners really focusing on the farm too much. As you can see, M3 are gathering around this dragon. They missed out on the first one. OMG grabbed it, but 30 seconds until the second is available. M3 looking to grab some vision around the area.
You can understand why Dade is behind in CS, because they rotated Simlz into all the free lanes to knock down the turret, so maybe he's a little bit more inflated. But Cool is the strange one. Uzi's definitely been soaking more of the sideway farm, but Cool should just be able to defend turrets in the mid lane, and hasn't really been able to grab the amount of CS you would expect out of an Azir player.
No, not quite. But we'll see how he goes still. Does have the Athene's on Holy Grail now, as well as the blasting one available. Back pocket. Yeah,
for Gogoing here. Dragon started up.
M3 want to try and grab there first. You can see Gogoing just
good ward behind them right now. That Gogoing can go to. He goes in front instead.
Volatile Spiderling comes down. Dade gets through with the Rift Walk. OMG still hanging around. Boomerang for a lot of damage onto Loveling. Not going to get the return as the repel comes in, but Sand Soldier's doing some work in M3 to say, okay, well, we managed to get the Dragon. Oh, split up over the top of that Equalizer. Loveling getting taken down so low. Dade picks up the kill. Emperor's Divide, though, for so much damage. Looper all the way in amongst this fight, and M3 are so split. OMG now managing to chase them down. Uzi pops the ultimate. Love CD's dead. True damage right through that unbreakable will. And OMG pick up the team fight on the back of it, 1 for 3.
Miscommunication coming out of Master3 there. Dade went in. Simlz had hightailed it already. No damage coming out of the 201 AD carry means that Uzi able to clean up a fight. But that was just all started once again by a really nice Equalizer Gogoing, picking his spots well and making Master3, I guess, regret the decision of grouping.
Yeah. Still, game very, very close. Not quite a 2,000 gold lead yet for OMG.
M3 did manage to secure the Dragon, so they can hang their hat on that objective at the least.
Yep. 15 CS is the lead now for Uzi. Leandri's Torment has been completed by the Rumble player. Also has the extra blasting wand. Would not be surprised if that was going to be an Abyssal Scepter as his next thought. As we're moving into this game, unless he wants an early Void stuff. Not entirely sure whether that's a great idea. A couple of Null Magic Mantles though. And Loveling does have the Sightstone built up. Looks like he's going towards either the Aegis of the Legion or a Spectre's Cowl item. Condi going to discover Gogoing, get one of his tunnels eaten.
Most likely going to be the Aegis. You can have a look at how much AP damage there is on the top side of the map with Dade, as well as Looper for M3, so just respecting that. Making sure that Uzi isn't going to be assassinated. Uzi on 2 major items, by the way. Simlz just on the Avarice Blade, so he is going for a static Shiv. You have to maybe question how much CS he absorbed whilst he was sitting in that top lane, pushing down the turret. Might have been better to get it before the crit cloak. Maybe he didn't have the 70 gold.
Yeah, potentially. I don't know. Interesting. We'll have to ask him after the game. See whether we can.
That was your Mandarin.
No, I didn't have one.
That was bad.
Yeah, that was really bad. But Abyssal Scepter has been completed by Dade. Still stacking that tier as effectively as he can. Looks like Rabadon's Deathcap going to be the next option here for Cool as well as we go down the list. Phantom Dancer is completed. And it looks like San going for the Righteous Glory so they can have a little bit more engage.
And wow, Simlz actually goes back, finishes up the static shift, so has caught up in relative strength right now. See whether he is able to get a good team fight where the Ricochet as well as the Boomerang Blade can do a lot of work.
And what does a good team fight look like here for M3?
Pretty much Looper just needs to get onto Cool and Dade needs to follow and delete him off the rift. Because the problem is right now is that with Cool's displacement and how fed Uzi is, Uzi can just dance in and out of the Emperor's Divide to get all of the work done. So either catch Cool completely unawares or get on top of Uzi. They're the 2 win conditions. Don't funnel into another Equalizer. Yeah. That should be against every Rumble comp.
Yeah.
OMG, on the other hand, they just want to play around the Emperor's Divide. Make sure that Uzi is kiting back and forth through that. Have the Nautilus stand on top of both Cool and Uzi and just make sure that the team fights are prolonged and they're chunking out priority members.
Well, OMG moving back towards the mid lane here as everyone's shoving in. Gogoing still hanging out on the top side of the rift. This tower getting a whole lot of attention. Goes down to about 2/3 health. Then all of OMG are going to back away. Nice rotational speed there by M3.
So this is what we see a lot, trying to secure vision control through the jungle. Make sure that if M3 have a misstep, ooh, Loveling tanks up the turret.
Yeah, cute little cocoon going to land on SMLZ there as Loveling tanks up the turret. Just a little bit longer than he'd otherwise like.
Yeah, so what OMG are looking for right now, you can see the vision they have in the jungle. They're going to set up a sand turret, making sure that for the next couple of minutes, M3 don't go near the Dragon Pit, so there's no vision set up there. Means that if they come in, they're going to have to face check. And in the meantime, they're just going to try and whittle away and get as much damage done as possible. They can take the turret, it's an added bonus, but really what they're aiming for is the vision control around Dragon Area. And you can see they're very hesitant to commit, because if they get chunked out anymore, that becomes a very hard mission to accomplish.
Yeah, Loveling as well, down to about half health here.
Loveling's like, let my spiderlings give me health back, please. Dade wants a flank. Is in vision.
Vision, yeah.
Gogoing going to chase him off.
Well, he's going to make his way through. We'll see whether he does clear out that.
They go in.
City trying to get in there. There's the Emperor's Divide. Looper right in the back line. Equalizer comes down across 3 members of M3. They're melting in this team fight. M3, they do manage to take down Uzi. That is definitely something to hang their hats on, but Cool still doing so much work. Loveling locks down another kill there as Dade has to deal with Gogoing. Just burns his face off, and Lovecd, the only man left.
So you can see that they prioritized Uzi over Cool. And as I said, sure, Uzi does a lot of the damage right now, but Cool owns control of the fight with that Emperor's Divide. They prioritized the wrong member, and OMG make them pay because it was just Looper cut off. Dade was on the wrong side of the team fight, and Cool just put down so much work.
Yeah, and Looper, he managed to get over the Emperor's Divide, yes, but he was then the only man there, and the rest of his team, it was Emperor's Divide straight into the Equalizer that Gogoing seems to be perfect at putting down this game.
Yeah, making sure it was against the wall, blocked off the choke as well, which just, once again, really nicely played. And if their teams want to prioritize Uzi that way, this is why OMG was supposed to be such a dangerous team from the beginning, because it was no longer Starhorn Royal Club where there was a sole carry. Uzi is surrounded by the likes of Cool, Gogoing, even Loveling, who is a carry jungler, should be able to put out work if that's what teams want to do, overcommit on the AD carry. And you can see that time, M3 were definitely punished for doing just that.
Yeah, it was precisely what happened, Spawn. 5,000 gold now the lead for OMG. 2-1-3 for Loveling, 3-0-4 for Gogoing. 70% kill participation as well. An extra BF sword for Uzi in his back pocket. Even farm with the Sivir. OMG looking to try and grab themselves their second dragon of the game.
Yeah, have an extra 2 turrets. You can see right now Dade split pushing, wants to get towards the Seraph's Embrace, his next major item. Not really happy to fight that dragon, so they back away, give up their blue buff.
Yep, cool. Going to be able to use the Sand Soldiers to grab that one as well. So OMG now looking to strangle M3 out of this game. Pings are onto the Baron. Condi trying to get some vision down. Of course, they already have a ward in the pit, but they don't know the rest of the vision that is available around here for OMG. Defensive vision is there. And M3 now trying to find their way in, trying to find something else that they can do to try and sort this game out. There's the pink ward, so Cool, just setting up, and he's
look
just
how much
controlling the
control
area.
of area they have right now with the Nautilus. He's impossible to walk through. Cool Sand Soldiers, not to mention an Equalizer. Just really difficult to get on top of anyone on OMG. And we talk about how well Elise works in a pick combo. As soon as you face check, are able to chunk out your health with the double % maximum health as well as missing health. Loveling, 2-1-3, having not a bad mid-game right now for OMG as well. They're all performing very well.
Yeah, Abyssal Scepter now completed for Gogoing as well. And M3, they just can't walk through their jungle in case OMG start a fight. Because Emperor's Divide able to cut off an entire choke point, and then Equalizer can funnel the M3 lineup to exactly where OMG want them. And OMG, if they decide that they want to take a fight, they can. Dade gets chunked out by something.
By Uzi.
Yeah.
Tried to look for a little bit of harassment. Uzi turns around and slaps him. Dade back in base. Still hasn't got home guard boots. This is going to be very tough for M3 to weather the storm of a triple threat comp out of OMG. And they look like a much better team coming into the first Gauntlet run. Yeah,
there's the Equalizer to start off the fight. They just want to zone M3 away from the turret, but nothing else to come from this. And OMG don't pull the trigger just yet.
Simlz gets half health, though. That means that the next wave should be the fall of that turret. They might even be able to tank it up. No Sun wants nothing to do with it. And SMLZ will make it back in time. Maybe a little bit of a missed opportunity there. Now a very key ultimate on cooldown.
OMG now just going to clear out this minion wave as it heads forward. M3 now looking at like they want to try and find something. Condi takes so much damage. In goes Uzi, but Looper tries to get it in. There's the 4-man knock-up. The Emperor's Divide back, though, as M3 get over the top. Dade takes down Cool. And this could be the M3 show now as Dade flashes forward. There's the Force Pulse and the Null Sphere to finish off the kill.
Just go for Baron M3. All of a sudden, they're able to win the team fight. Only Looper available. He doesn't even have ultimate. M3 turned the game on its head. What a teleport play coming through. This is what Looper was always known for. And OMG just caught napping. We said that if they didn't push off that Equalizer, it would be a big mistake. They didn't, and M3 make them pay.
Yeah, Equalizer was of course down after it was used earlier on, so Baron is going to fall. M3, all 5 members with that one swinging around them. 5 turrets to 3 still. Of course, the gold still in favor of OMG. But I just didn't see a team fight where M3 were going to come out ahead until I saw that situation. And Dade played brilliantly, got immediately over the top of that Emperor's Divide, finished off cool. Let's see it again.
Let's take another look. The teleport comes through, everyone clumps, and then huge double knockups. Dade able to get the force pulse across everyone, make sure that he's doing as much work as possible, and from there, this is Kassadin's field day at Atlas, just happy to chase till his heart's content. 6-3 and 3. Should be able to go back and grab the finished Archangels. There it is. And Dade has arrived in the late game, maybe a little bit earlier than what OMG were expecting.
Yeah, still not the Seraph's Embrace just yet. Of course, when you have a 17-minute tier, that is probably going to take a while. Yeah, very true. But it is a bloodthirster for Simlz as well. Without very much armor built up by this side, OMG going to get shredded by Simlz's Sivir during these fights. And if there are more 4-man pulverizers, the boomerangs, the ricochets,
going to start doing a lot of work, and that's Cool's responsibility. Cool can't get caught in the CC, needs to push people back. Uzi was looking to be aggressive onto Condi. They didn't have the vision behind them to scout out the counter engage. And just maybe some miscommunication through from M3 of where their from OMG of where their strength was, means they give up their huge gold lead.
Well, Gogoing once again going to be split pushing on the top side of the map. Does still have his teleport available. Cool's there as well, because he's actually wandering towards that top wave. Actually kind of doesn't know what he's doing by the looks of things. Spinning around in circles. He's going to now head back to base. And Looper split pushing on the bottom side. Baron buff still here for M3, of course. Dade makes his way in. OMG able to defend this one out for now. The rest of OMG are in the mid lane. LCD coming around. Simlz and Condi. Now everyone's here for M3. Half the health on this inner turret as Dade's going to get knocked up. Doesn't have the Zhonya's. Equalizer comes down. Simlz tanks a bit too much of the turret. Now just going to get a whole bunch of his health back using that Bloodthirster on these Krogs, and that's most of his health now returned.
Once again, Equalizer not available. You don't think that OMG can fight without that Summoner spell. They're looking to, however, potentially once again a counter engage available. Dragon, 15 seconds away. OMG want to fight.
Oof, Loveling not going to take the boomerang damage this time around. Equalizer almost halfway done. Cool might get discovered by Dade here. Ward in the brush means that he knows that he hasn't been spotted. Ward's going to get shoved over from the red side. OMG just grouping as a unit.
That'll be Dragon started up and finished before anyone can respond. Looper goes to the top side of the map to grab the big juicy CS wave. No turrets fallen for that Baron buff, I do not believe, but a lot of work done in the bottom lane.
Yeah, and probably M3 just saying, okay, we know that we're behind. We can probably just use this to consolidate the game. Certainly have done so. 6-3-3 for Dade's Kassadin.
Coming through into the top lane. Looper recognizes it, backs away. Home guard boost means that everyone's going to be here. No fight to occur.
No, inner turret is going to fall down, so nice movements from OMG. Condi going to try and get behind this OMG lineup. Uses his sweeper. He's going to be able to take away that pink ward. Simlz going to take a red buff for himself. Uzi heading back to base. Might be able to grab a Mercurial Scimitar.
And OMG are in that awkward situation where your top laner and your mid laner on level 15, you really don't want to fight until they've hit the level 16 mark, especially Gogoing, who has all of that penetration in his build right now to get the impactful equalizers across. So we'll have to see whether they're able to get Cool and Gogoing to the level 16 margin, and then from there try and win a team fight.
Dade actually split pushing on the bottom side of the map. Going to be able to take down that inner turret. 4 turrets to 6 now in favor of OMG.
Dade has a hard choice of choosing whether he puts Zhonya's Void Staff or Void Staff Death Cap in his build.
Dangerous.
Generally a decision you want to make on Kassadin.
We'll have that Seraph's Embrace for the shield relatively soon, so maybe the Death Cap Void Staff is okay. I'd like it. Anyway,
Gogoing's reached level 16.
Yeah, dade's going to find him. Uses that scrap shield. Not exactly looking like he's taking too much punishment. Able to use that Abyssal Scepter to help keep himself okay. Now has the Zhonya's, like you said. Be able to go into stasis if he needs to. But 10 to 11, M3 ahead on the kills. Even in Dragons. That Baron really seemed to have got M3 back into a state of semi-control this game. Although OMG still with a lot of vision on this map.
Yeah, they certainly do, and right now they need to fight around the Equalizer and Emperor's Divide power spike they have at level 16. Lupa still yet to reach that point in the game. Cool going to pick himself up a blue buff. You can see that he dishes out massive damage with the Sand Soldiers.
Able to use that E in order to get himself a bit closer to this lane.
Lupa gets another huge flank. You feel like OMG should be able to just deal with what M3 are going to bring into the team fight, but we've already seen it happen once, Atlas. Teleport plays definitely appear to be in the favor of the big tanky tree.
Yeah, Lupa of course was known for it, like you said before, so still OMG in the lead by about 1,000, but that's basically nothing at this stage. This Kassadin getting a bit ridiculous. Seraph Embrace.
Yeah, completely finished now. Has himself another blasting one. So it's either going to be Death Cap or Void Staff next. I would like a Void Staff right now just because he does have a lot of AP from the double scaling items. He needs to make sure that he can deal with Elise as well as the Rumble.
Yeah, Locket the Iron Solari is going to be making sure that the rest of OMG are going to have a fair bit of magic resist themselves. Mercurial Scimitars. Lupa's gone in. Cool has to deal with the big tree on top of him. Dade comes through as well, but there's the Emperor's Divide. Dade flashes over the top. It's a double kill for Simlz though already. The Emperor's, the Equalizer is okay, but when you've got all of the carries dead apart from Gogoing, things aren't great here, and M3 take the lead.
And look at the score, at the timing in which they do it. They're able to complete a team fight with 3 seconds on Baron. They should be able to destroy this turret, then go straight to that objective, taking a little bit longer than you expect to get it done. But M3 should secure the second Baron of the game. And Cool is just getting caught out of position time and time again, this time by Lupa, Flash Twisted Advance.
Yeah, and Lupa just able to use the fact that he goes untargetable as he makes his way on top of the Azir means that the Emperor's Divide just does not get rid of the tree.
Yeah, well, he had to time it then to try and get rid of Dade, but the problem was Dade just willing to burn summoner spells to get back over the top. Dade playing the zoning role, trying to see if he can get a pick off the back end of this. Nothing forthcoming. And second Baron of the game, first real gold lead in M3's favor.
Simlz is able to pick up the last Whisper as well. 4 items on this Sivir. So much AoE damage. 6, 1, and 6. Only 2 kills that he hasn't been a part of this game for M3.
Dade wants Uzi. Spider Sense tingling though on Loveling, you feel.
Well, Dade's Spider Sense must be tingling as well, considering Loveling was around. Force Pulse coming in as well, but Riftwalk going to get Dade to safety.
Yeah, and even though Uzi has 4 major items, including boots, finished off, you feel like he doesn't really want to engage the Kassadin at this stage of the game.
Oh no.
Would have to have some incredible mechanics to get that one done, especially without the heal available. So instead backs away, trying to consolidate the map one more time. And OMG, you've seen time and time again what their win condition is. Get into a choke point, utilize the Equalizer, utilize the Emperor's Divide.
Yeah.
But it just hasn't worked the last 3 team fights, and instead M3 able to take over and wrestle control of the pace of the game. And when that happens with a Kassadin, when you're going to eyeball off a 6-item Dade Kassadin, not to mention the fact that they get some even more movement speed right now, it's going to be a difficult late game.
Oh yeah, Void Staff now completed for Dade as he headed back to base and grabbed that item. He's down by about 40 CS, 50 CS, but doesn't really matter when you're 6, 3, and 6 in comparison to 1, 3, and 7. You're having a fantastic time, and the Kassadin greedy build definitely paid off this game with the fact that he had so much of that mana scaling.
It was a crazy build. I've never seen anyone complete roll, get a Negatron, then opt for a tier afterwards. But Dade, at this point in the game, doesn't matter because he has all of the core set up. It's just how he got there that was a little bit strange.
Yeah. Now, not as important to worry about.
Lupa's massive. 1-3-10, not the most impressive scoreline, but 11 out of 14 kill credit, as well as the fact that he's got 4 major tank items nearly done. It's going to be difficult to deal with the super tank of Maokai, even for someone like Vayne.
Well, Condi clearing out vision here as M3 move towards the last remaining inner turret on the map for them. Evening out the turrets here as Simlz just dealing with it so quickly. And M3 now to set up the siege. We'll see whether they actually can, as Baron's still swirling around them, but not going to be able to. They just want to shove in all of the waves.
Yeah, they're very short range right now, so it is difficult for them to siege. When your longest range champion is a Sivir, not really going to be easy to smack the turrets, and they don't have the recipes to be able to turret dive because of the fact that Cool and Gogoing still have ultimates available. So we'll have to see how they play this. Maybe look for a pick, see if they can get another surprise engage onto a member of OMG.
Well, Uzi was looking to try and farm, but Condi, he's hanging around the rest of M3, waiting in the wings. Lupa does have the Righteous Glory available, and second one for Lovecd as well, as Dade's rift walking around the jungle.
And this is what we talk about, once again, securing the inside lane, making sure that every time OMG try and respond to a pushing lane, it's through their base, not through the turret, can never take the inside lane, and if they do choose to do that, they're going to be chunked out. Also forces them off all their buffs. The extra gold of the jungle, slowly but surely going to starve OMG out of the game. Maybe a little bit late, 75,000 gold is when items generally become irrelevant, and we're almost there, Atlas, but
yeah,
you can see M3 willing to pay patient League of Legends.
They are 5 items on the Kassadin here. Does have the home guard boots. 6 items for Simlz though. That's a big deal. 375 CS. That is a huge number.
Uzi nearly about to join him as well.
Yeah, almost with his Banshee's Veil as well as the Mercurial Scimitar. A very big Vayne.
I like that build out of Vayne, by the way. This is one of my favorite Vayne builds, just because if there is something like a Kassadin on the team, you need to be able to get the burst of movement speed and stealth to get away and kind of try and disorientate Dade. And then the Mercurial Scimitar going to help get rid of any of the CC of the likes of Lupa. So long as he doesn't get nailed by a knock-up, Uzi should be able to get out of the initial burst with the double magic resist items. But after that, how do you deal with Dade right now? He is a monster.
Yeah. That is the problem here. Split pushing on the bottom side of the map right now. We're going to try and get towards
Beyblade in the
next
middle
item
of the lane.
Yep, love it.
Oh, Lupa gets taken out by it.
Very interesting position. I haven't seen that particular Beyblade. Cool one. I like it. It's the Warden Sivir. Like it. Condi not going to notice the fact that he's standing on top of the ward. Oh, does actually sweep it out. Nice work there.
Baron up again in 1:30, and it looks like M3 happy to draw OMG out of their base. We mentioned that it's just so difficult to dive this team. There's no real reason to force, especially if you feel you can win the skirmishes with your Kassadin. So time and time again, they're just willing to bait the clock and work towards 5th Dragon and another Baron buff. This will be their 3rd.
Yeah. They've been taking it on cooldown as well. It's as if it is a dragon and they're just a little bit more in control of the game. Withdraw from Dade. Heading up towards maybe the blue buff as it spawns. Not entirely sure.
Potentially Wolves. You can see that everyone else is nearly max build. Dade still has an entire item slot to complete. Sitting on a flask. 42 minutes into the game.
Lupa the same. Still looking to finish off that one item. You're right though. I mean, Gogoing, he's got to replace his shield. Grab himself his next one. We'll see whether it's a Ravenous Death Cap, something crazy like that, or whether he wants to do something a little bit more reserved. Still pink wards in the back pocket of both Loveling and San.
Dade still in the bottom lane. Not going to be able to get there in time. I think I'll teleport. They've got home guard boots and a couple of jumps to get himself across the map. And he does go back and grab a needlessly large rod.
Let's see whether that is going to be the Zhonya's Hourglass or the Rabadon's Death Cap.
Banshee's Veil picked up for Uzi. That's going to be a huge purchase, actually, before the next buy. So Uzi, 6 items. Simlz, 6 items. Probably the Rylai's Crystal Scepter to come out of Cool is his last item. And something like a Death Cap, you would have to think, for Dade at this stage of the game. And we're postured for that one epic team fight, Atlas. Game's been very back and forth with OMG having early control at M3 finally getting it back. Now, anything can happen, because we're at the point where items don't matter.
Yep, gold completely irrelevant. 4,500 is the lead, if you wanted to know. Even though it doesn't actually mean anything this time around. Simlz actually sold his static shiv, has picked himself up the Phantom Dancer for more single target and team fighting effectiveness. That's neither here nor there. Horses for courses at this stage, Spawn. OMG and M3 trying to find a reason to butt heads.
Huge wave down in the bottom lane. Means that M3 have a little bit more control. That was set up by dade. Loop has done something similar on the top side of the map. You can see that that is another massive wave that is on its way to crash in. And dade, rift walking down towards the dragon straight away. OMG ping out Baron.
Yeah, pings on the Baron. Of course, there are still massive minion waves. That top one hasn't made it to the inhibitor turret just yet, but it will. Bottom wave is getting dealt with by said turret. OMG setting up position.
It up. Inside lane at mid lane. M3 looking to shove this one in. Gogoing has to deal with the top lane turret. And that will be Dragon going over to the M3 lineup.
Yeah, Gogoing able to deal with that top wave though, so that's important. OMG not going to lose the Baron.
Fourth Dragon for 6 minutes. I feel like that will be the last team fight if we don't have it before then. Once again, OMG pulling the trigger on Baron. They kill it really quick.
Yeah, it's going down so incredibly fast. Condi is here, wants to try and get in there for the smite. He steals it! There's the Emperor's Divide as well, but in goes Lovecd. Uzi takes down Condi, but M3 now trying to get amongst it. Oh my goodness, there's the equalizer on top of everyone as Gogoing trying to get stuff happening here. But M3, they've got the Baron, only lose one.
Yeah, no smite coming out of the OMG lineup then. Have to check whether Loveling was even in the fight, but Condi just dove over the back wall, able to take it. Sure, he goes down in the process, but Baron for one member, as well as the fact that they secured 4th Dragon, M3 happy campers.
Yeah, and Loveling, of course, you know, when you do have that Q in Spider form, the execute damage as well as the smite is so much, but did not work out that time. Alacrity enchantment now for Simlz. The fleet of foot he's going to be going very quickly in these team fights, not to mention with his ultimate as well. As dade looking to go back to base to see whether he grabs the Rabadon's Death Cap, and there it is. So 6-item Kassadin, 6-item Vayne. Oh my goodness, no Zonyas. That's not what dade's about. He's about damage. And with Rod of Ages, the new version, stacked up to 10. The Seraph's Embrace, the fact that he has Void Staff and Rabadon's Death Cap as well. His numbers must be out of control. He's going to find San. There it is. Halves his health with the 2 abilities. So, yep, that's a bit of damage.
So that was a precursor of what's to come. About 4 minutes until the next Dragon is available. That will be number 5 for M3.
Yeah.
Problem is, they still can't dive. As tanky as Looper is, you know, he's got 6 items, all of them being tank. He's got a heck of a lot of armor. Problem is that if you dive the likes of a Azir, the likes of a Rumble, they just shred through you incredibly quickly. There's 3 legitimate damage threats on the OMG lineup. We saw how quickly Condi died. Looper going to fare a similar fate, so they just need to wait for the neutral objective.
Well, M3 trying to find the inside track here. Simlz holding on to both the Bloodthirster Shield and his Banshee's Veil.
Pushing in.
M3 wave control has been pretty good.
Okay, so that turret is very low.
Yep, thank you, minions.
Probably going to fall.
Do M3 have to dive here? That's the question. Loveling not going to find the cocoon.
Well, the thing is that Looper can just clap his hands together, run in really quickly, and they can auto-attack the turret once. Then it's no longer a dive atlas. Turret's going to fall from a sneeze of Simlz. From there, team fight, even though it's in a choke point, should go M3's favor. Wow, dade.
Yeah, rift walking for fun. Lots of abilities being used. Yeah, there's Simlz able to get in there. Auto attack, turret falls down. M3, they've broken the base of OMG. Condemned down as well. As dade makes his way in and then out very, very quickly. Yep. The inhibitor is going to fall down.
Dade got hooked.
Yeah, halfway of his health. Dani's trying to get out, serve some braces there, but he's taken out by Cool. It is going to be the inhibitor falling, but Loveling now on top of SMLZ flashes out of the fight. Equalizer's good, and OMG, they are crushing M3 this time. Condi, now the last man alive, and OMG with a triple kill on Cool. No one's dead.
Wow, what a team fight out of OMG. Sun with a miracle play picks dade out of mid-air. There's 50 seconds on the death timers. OMG looking like they don't want to rush down mid lane. Rek'Sai still on the bottom side of the map. Have to see whether Condi can make the miracle play. The Gogoing still in the base. I don't think it's going to happen. And OMG just might be able to win on this push. Beyblade or no Beyblade.
Exactly. 30 seconds is until dade gets back up again. They've got a lot of damage in the hands of Uzi and Cool to take down these turrets.
Condi, fall down.
Yeah, you're so dead, buddy. Oh, actually, no, takes the tunnel. Takes another one.
Gogoing as Flash. Get in there.
Yeah, he's doing the butterfly here on the ground. That's pretty cool.
17 seconds.
Loveling going to tank it up. There's the dredge line in from Sun. Teleport from Gogoing as well.
And on dade.
OMG.
It's going to be Game Atlas. OMG win game 1.
So OMG against all odds able to take game 1 after losing that inhibitor. But man, that was a close game. And M3 battling right until the very end. We may definitely have a colorful best of 5 on our hands, Spawn.
Yeah, certainly looks to be the case. And you know, fantastic start. Double kill onto the AD carry. They drop it in the top lane. A good counter punch coming through from Master3, who had control until the very end. And then just the miracle team fight came through off San's hook.
Yeah, and I have to say, Gogoing impressed me so much in his Rumble this game. Maybe there was like one equalizer that wasn't perfectly placed, but other than that, the team fights were played out so well, and it wasn't all about Uzi. I mean, he managed to get that double kill early on, but it wasn't about him. It was about the fact that Gogoing was playing well, and Cool was able to get at least a couple of team fights working so well in favor of OMG.
Cool got one team fight. One good team fight.
Yeah, I saw more 1.5.
You got caught out 3 times as well, so let's not give him too much credit. Gogoing definitely had a stellar performance, so Loveling also played his part very well. And the Emperor's Divide was useful in a lot of those fights, but Cool needs to tidy up his positioning around the map, you think, just a little bit.
Maybe just a little bit. It is, of course, the first game, though, of a best-of-5 series, so both of these teams with the ability to come back through and pick up anything that they want. And look, we'll see whether M3 can answer back and turn this into a pseudo best-of-3 scenario.
Yeah, and the good thing for M3 is that you get the execution part now, because everything went okay. You know, you fought your way back into a game. Maybe you can clean up some things around laning phase. But it got to the late game execution, and they just dropped one team fight. So they're very easy to look back on and say, we should have won that game if we had executed a little bit better. Also, once again, just want to bring it back to the fact that dade didn't have his Onya's Hourglass. On a 6-item Kassadin, he made one mistake, and it cost his team the game.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate there. We'll see whether dade and friends can pull it back in game 2 or whether OMG are going to cascade through into a victory.